Hi, my name's Pete Trunzo. I'm here with Steve Green, who's my boiler expert, 848 Linn. We're just recording this video simply for owner benefit, no other purpose, just owner benefit. Clearly, the system here at 848 Linn has failed, and we're trying to resolve the situation here. And Steve's going to give us some insight as to why this is wrong, what's currently here, and his recommendation on making it right. We'll have a written proposal as far as costs down the road, maybe end of business day, end of maybe tomorrow business day. But at this point, we just want to kind of go over just a 2-minute summary of what's wrong here and what the solution is to make it right. Steve, if you could just give me a brief summary of what we already talked about, that would be most beneficial.
Okay, my name's Steve Green. I'm with Garfield Plumbing. I've been in this trade for 43 years, and steam and hot water heat are one of my specialties. So to begin with, the boiler, first of all boilers, irregardless of manufacturer, come with recommended piping situations. You know, it's not, there's always a disclaimer on it, you know, these are recommended practices. Each situation, you know, there might be things, you know, small things you'd have to vary from, but however, if you follow those practices, you'll never get in trouble, and it's correct. And then, as long as that's adhered to, that maintains the warranty of the equipment, you know, in this case, the boiler. So here what we have a system that was piped, basically they just piped it. I don't have any other words to say other than the fact that they put 2 pipes on it and expected it to work. It was done in copper, which it's not recommended to use copper, and there's a lot of reasons, you know, we can get into that. You know, it wasn't sized right. The existing header that was here, they took down. Although it wasn't right in terms of piping standards, the diameter of the pipe was correct as far as delivering steam and having enough content to get up and heat the building, you know, so that was removed. Of course, the boiler's not sitting level, you know, there's just, I mean, I can give you a legal sheet of things that aren't correct. Mm-hmm. So that brings us to the point of, we have a boiler, you know, we're going to pipe it correctly, and how do we determine, you know, the size of the boiler? Apparently, oh, go ahead, Pete.
So this is not wired or piped correctly?
Well, I mean, the wiring's okay from what I see.
Okay.
It's not, I mean, you know, from a workmanship standpoint, it fails the test, but
okay.
you know, it appears, you know, they've got it, you know, they've got power going to it, and,
okay.
and that. So
okay.
So anyways, so then this boiler is undersized. You know, it's not big enough, not nearly big enough for the building. You know, and I was told that they just matched to what was in here. Well, then that one wasn't big enough, and that's why it failed. You know, okay. so on and so forth. So what we have to do, the size of the boiler is, which Pete and I just did, we count all the radiators, and we come up with a square foot of radiation. And that translates into BTUs, which translates into what's the size of the boiler that we need. Mm-hmm. You know, we can vary from that a little bit, you know, not much. You know, we need to be pretty close on that. Mm-hmm. So the other issue is if we exceed 300,000 BTUs or above, now it becomes a commercial boiler. And along with that, the state gets involved, and there's inspections, and there's some extra controls that have to be done. So that adds, you know, more cost to the job. At this point, I think we can get under the 300,000 mark. I have to add my radiation, and that's going to tell me, you know, and we'll see what we do from there. Okay. So if all that checks out, then we install the correct boiler. We pipe it the way it is, and as long as the system is tight, now I'm assuming that the existing steam main and returns in the building are good, which means they're free of leaks. I can't see behind the walls, nobody can. You know, there's no way to predetermine that until we actually fire up the boiler. As Pete and I were discussing earlier, the steam mains very seldom go bad. There's very little issues with that. Most of the issues are in the radiators themselves, you know, is where the leaks and stuff are. The return line, which is all exposed down here in the basement, that's the other place. Go ahead.